Welcome to another episode of Comedy Wham Presents with me, your host, Valerie, coming to you from Moon Tower 2018. ComedyWham.com is your place to go for features about all Austin comedy and those passing through Austin. We bring you articles and podcasts featuring the best in Austin comedy in all its shapes and formats. Started in 2016, the podcast project brings you funny people and their stories. As a fan, I like to delve into a comic's background and motivations, and will usually take a detour along the way. Consider the interview a way for you to get to know the folks that make the Austin comedy scene one of the best in the country. Today I sit down with a recent discovery to my comedy universe, a regular on MTV's Girl Code and frequent guest on The Dearly Departed at Midnight. She's been working on her comedy in LA the last few years. She tours, and in the funniest collection of videos, does great guest spots on local news channels to promote her appearances. I got my introduction to her via her guest appearance on Jeremiah Wonders, and when she answered my fan-submitted question with such grace and humility, I became instantly charmed. I've gotten hooked on her podcast, Sharp Tongue. She talks about her life, including the heart-wrenching process of dealing with her father with Alzheimer's. On top of all this, her laugh is one of the best I've heard. Just back from the Kid Rock cruise, yep, you heard that, right? I guarantee you our guest has more dimensions to her than you expect. And now, Comedy Wham presents our guest, Jessimae Peluso.
Hi. I tried to be quiet.
Here's the laugh.
It's my old coworker and close friend. He owned the bar where I used to bartend at. He says it's a tropical bird in danger. Like when it really gets, there's facets to it, but it's obnoxious.
Do you think that's why you got booked on the Kid Rock cruise?
I think so. I think it is. I think they needed a bird and they didn't realize it was a comedian, and they were just like, hey, you got a 2 for special.
Well, what was really funny is I was raving about you to my friend, and I thought, okay, well, we're going to see you at the goddamn Comedy Jam last night. But I was actually, damn it, she's not doing her laugh on stage. Like, you would get really close.
I know. Because, like, Crystalia always laughs at herself, and
yes.
I try to not, like, I have fun, I have so much fun, and
yeah.
it's so genuine, but the laugh, like the full throttle, I try to, like, not let her out too much on stage, because it sounds in my head so much worse.
Yeah. I don't know.
It was so fun last night.
Yeah.
And it was funny, because before I was in my hotel room talking to my boyfriend, I FaceTimed and I was like, all right, I'm going to go through this song, because I have to make sure I get these lines, because there's 2 parts where, like, every song, when you think you know it, you're just like, and you just kind of like fill in the fucking blanks. And so I just was like, okay, whatever, let me just try it out with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Same thing happened, and then I was like, whatever, it'll work out.
Yeah.
Went out and did it, still ate those lines, just like a sandwich when I was on stage. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
I thought rapping would be easy.
Yeah, no. You ran out of breath.
I ran out of breath. Like, I'm still hyperventilating from last night. It was difficult, but that was like one of the most fun shows I think is out there.
Absolutely.
Because you go to a lot of comedy, right?
I do, and I went to my first jam 3 years ago. I can't do math. I'm so exhausted.
Yeah, I think you said 3 years they've been doing it.
And so I went to I think it might have been the last one of the festival, so I was really kicking myself that I didn't get to do more.
Yeah.
And then last year, went to all 3. And then this year, I'm going to all 3.
So fun.
It's just, and you never know what you're getting. And Josh is such a great host.
He's a great host.
He's perfect for it.
He forces you.
Yes.
He forces you to have fun.
Yeah.
If we're going to be here, let's just have fun.
Right.
I love Josh. We just got smoothies this morning. It took him an hour to order it. Holy
my
hell.
gosh.
He was like, does this smoothie have all the nutrients I need for my day? I'm
my
like, are you a toddler? This woman's not your mother. Still breastfeeding? Jesus. Read a nutritional book. He wanted out of one smoothie.
Oh my God.
If all my answers would come out of one dick, we would all be fine. You gotta, mix it up a little bit.
Jessimae,
Can I swear on this? I didn't even know. I should have asked. Okay.
Absolutely. I was just going to tell you, I'm going to walk away now and just let you
I just come out.
This will be your episode of
I know. Can I post this on Sharp Tongue?
Yeah. Please do. I need the listens. No.
Don't we all?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I've got to get on track.
Okay.
All right, I like to ask my guests one word to describe your past.
Wow. No one's ever asked me that. That's so balanced.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it for you because what I was alluding to in my introduction is, okay, on the surface, when I saw that you were going to be a guest on Jeremiah's podcast, I'm like, oh, this is Party Girl.
Yep.
But then hearing your answer to my question and just hearing you throughout, and also I think Jeremiah surrounds himself with really good people.
Yeah, he's good with like that.
I'm like, okay, well, there's more to it. And then I look into Sharp Tongue, and I've already admitted to you I don't partake, so I haven't listened to Higher Grounds.
Yeah.
Higher Grounds? No, am I mixing podcasts?
Well, Hilarious comes out today.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
There we go.
So it's okay if you listen to it. It's not out there yet. Higher Ground's a great title for something as well.
It is, yeah. somebody take that name.
It's a show where people get high and go look for stuff.
There we go. So then I start listening to Sharp Tongue, and when I discover somebody, I go, okay, I'm going to listen to the first episode. I'm going to pick something in between, and then I'll listen to the most current ones. And I'm so struck by, like, you are so much more than this party girl image that I had. And the story about your dad, like, really, I lost my dad last year.
Oh,
so
I'm sorry. That's so hard.
Yeah, the feeling of that connection that you want to have with your father. And I mean, I knew I was losing my dad for a year.
Yeah.
And your story is different because he's got Alzheimer's, and who knows how long that could stretch out. But
yeah.
you were like dealing with these things, and yeah, to me, there's like just so much more than on the level. And also watching your set last night, I kind of like, this girl is so dirty.
I'm so dirty.
But like not in a, I never get the right phrasing right. Like it wasn't vulgar, or maybe it was vulgar. I don't know,
say
but
it's
it
like
was
not
like,
salacious. It's not. I try to not be pointless with it.
yeah,
I try to keep it aligned to truth and
Yeah.
not just for the sake of a poop joke.
yeah,
You know, there's got to be a grain or a kernel of a moment where it came from. And like talking about the Kid Rock cruise and all that, like that's how I felt. I was like, this whole place smells. And I was just imagining what Kid Rock, his taint was like, and just literally tramp stamps and boobs were everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, this is like, it's like the Jizzard of Oz. That's what I said
That was
to
so
myself
great.
on the boat, and I was like, and so all those moments come from my demented mind.
Yeah.
But I try to not just be vulgar.
yeah.
Because it's so,
Right.
not that it's easy, it's just one-dimensional,
Right, exactly.
you know?
Yeah, I mean, give me a A+ written dick joke. I'm super
Right.
excited, but it's, there's a lot of F level
Yeah.
jokes out there.
And also, like, mix it in with other stuff.
yeah,
That's what I try and do. Like, when I first started out, a lot of my jokes were about sex. You know, in not a majority, but, like, I'd say about, on my longer sets when I'm on the road for, like, an hour, I'd say about 20 minutes of it is about sex now. Whereas as before that, it was, like, a majority of it. It was, like, a good 45
Yeah.
minutes. So I've worked on incorporating more of those vulnerable moments and stuff that I'm experiencing. But that's also with comedy. It takes years to figure out what the fuck you want to say.
yeah,
And, as you become older and experience things with, like, your parents and Alzheimer's and all that, that starts to incorporate itself in there. So there's still dick jokes. They're just also, my dad's jokes as well now. So,
yeah. Do you have early comedic memories where it's something you watched or saw, or just you yourself and your family?
yeah, my dad always watched specials. My mom wasn't too much into comedies. She likes Lifetime Network and boxed wine and shawls.
Oh.
That's the mom trifecta.
Yeah, it is.
She's not too much into comedies. My dad always was.
Yeah.
My dad's like a goofball. And so he'd watch all Mel Brooks movies, all the Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder movies, all the specials. I remember watching comedy specials with him, Robin Williams. Paula Poundstone, which is such a pull from the 80s and 90s. Like you say that only true comedian fans understand.
Yeah.
I had a funny moment with Paula Poundstone. Not that type of moment. I was doing.
It's okay if you're. I mean, we're not here to judge.
I was performing at the City Winery, and this girl Laura Prangley was putting on a show. And at the City Winery, it's in New York City, and there's a larger room. It holds about 350, I want to say. And then there's a side room that holds about 80. I was in the side room. Paula Poundstone was in the main room. This is about 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, and so I'm doing my set, and in the middle of the room, there's a wall and a door that separates the two showrooms. So every time the servers go through, the noise bleeds.
Oh.
So there's an overlap in that little area where the sound kind of bleeds into each room. So I was doing well, killing, whatever. And which doesn't always happen. I hate when comedians are like, I kill it, I crush it. No, you're not. Okay. You probably fucking ate a dick and you're just trying to compensate for the pain. You should sit in the pain because you grow a little bit more in those moments. But I was having a great night. Paula Poundstone comes in through those doors because the laughter from my room was spilling into her room.
Oh.
And not that she wasn't funny, it's just the timing of it. Like maybe she was setting up a joke. Maybe it was in the interim or a segue.
Yeah.
It just was the moments that my laughter happened to be robust, happened to be at quieter times. She comes in with a fucking microphone. She's like, what the hell's going on in here? And I'm on the stage like,
Oh my God.
holy hell, Paula Poundstone. I used to watch your comedy specials when I was like, and somebody videotaped it, so it was just a funny.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and had I not had a father who appreciated comedy, I'd be like, who's this drunk woman? Why'd they give this drunk lady a microphone? Is there a seminar in the other room? Is there like is there an LGBTQ meeting in the other room? But it was great. It was a great exchange. She had a power suit on.
Yeah.
Fucking strong shoulder power suit. Yep.
Yeah.
It was great. But my father definitely was the one who introduced me to my mom's funny, it's not like my dad was the only one that introduced me to comedy. My mother's got this very dry, sarcastic sense of humor, slightly sardonic, and my father's like this goofy slapstick airplane movie type guy.
Oh my gosh, you're describing my mom and dad.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
The dynamics?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow,
Absolutely.
that's interesting.
Yeah. Maybe that's why there's like this, I love this girl.
Could be.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so many types of people in the world.
Right.
We all think we're such individuals. No, there's like 6 types of us, or 7.
Yeah.
And then you got different hair colors. That's it.
Yeah.
We're all the same.
You seem like you have been on a stage all of your life because you know how to command a room and you're just so gregarious. Is that true? Did you
I
start
think
from-
so.
Okay.
I think so. I always ask my mom now that I'm like more introspective and like kind of just thinking about stuff. I tell her, I'm like, how did you deal with me? Because I was so extra.
Yeah.
Like there was this home video of me, I think I was like 7, 6, and my mom's got the video recorder, like the huge handheld.
With the tape?
I mean, yeah, where you can hear it. Like, no, today people don't understand how easy they have it. Like, you'd have to put this thing on your shoulder, like you're training a hawk, just sitting on your shoulder, this mechanical hawk. So she's videotaping, and my neighbor friend, Sarah, is there. All of us are sitting on the couch. And she goes, say hi, Sarah. And Sarah says hi. Then she pans to my older sister, Emily. She's like, say hi, Emily. And Emily says hi. And then she pans to me, and she's like, say hi, Jessie. And I go, poop. So, just not helping, not just, cooperating whatsoever. Oh, you want me to say hi? Poop, Nancy. You're going to get a poop.
So you started working blue from an early age.
Blue
then.
is in my blood. I'm a blue blood, in that sense of the term. I mean, I used to entertain my sister. There was a slight chaos in the house in the sense my parents were arguing and stuff like that. So I think I just went to comedy and entertaining as a way to sort of mend everything, or try to.
Yeah.
You know, just like a little buffer in between some of the arguing and stuff like that. But also I think it's just a natural thing. I would go into a closet. My sister called it the closet lady. I'd go in my mom's closet and I'd put on one article of clothing and then another and another and another. Nothing matched. So I'd have like a high heel and like a rain jacket, a skirt, pants over the skirt, hat. And I'd come out and I'd do this character in all my mom's clothing, and then I'd get grounded for a month, but I kept doing it because I'd make my sister laugh.
Yeah.
And I think that was like the first time I ever performed for anybody. Was my sister. She still requests a closet lady today.
Aww.
Isn't that cute?
Oh, that is cute.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'm a attention whore. I'll do it.
When did you start thinking, oh, I could go do this outside of my home?
You know, I was working
By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt. Where did you grow up?
Syracuse.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Syracuse, New York.
Okay.
Upstate. I got a tramp stamp. I say that's a skin passport to get out of your certain areas like Florida, Syracuse, New York. You need a tramp stamp in order to get it in and out. Everyone thinks it's a bad tattoo. No, it's legal documentation.
Okay.
Just want everybody to know that.
All right.
I might need to do that as a joke. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's actually brilliant.
I grew up in Syracuse. I left when I was 18 because I didn't want to do meth. And I didn't
Did you say math? 'Cause
math. Or math.
Okay.
I didn't want to do math on meth. That's why I left Syracuse. And I moved to Boston. I was working at H&M, and I was working in the stockroom, and this kid who was doing comedy, we were bitching about what our work was. Like, I was filling children's socks in a bin to be the replenishment for the upstairs items. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm sitting here holding these 0 to 3 month socks. This is my day. I'm spending hours with these socks that were made by these children in like Indonesia.
Yeah.
All these different prints. Like, what am I doing with my life? And I was just like bitching and riffing. And this kid that was working with me is like, you should try comedy. You talk a lot, and I feel like you could figure out something with that. And so I did a writing course in Boston, and I did improv for a few years there.
Okay.
And that's where I got my
I can't
feet
believe
wet.
nobody told you that before that point in time.
No, because you know, environment is so pertinent to your choice and your ability to know what your potential can be. Mm-hmm. You know, because if you live in a place like a town with 400 people, you're not necessarily going to know that you can become a neuroscientist. Mm-hmm. It's not like, it's almost like you have to be, in my mind, you'd have to have access to things to understand it. I mean, now we've got TV and the internet, we have access to stuff outside of our immediate world, but I didn't know I could.
Yeah. And that actually answers a question that I had, is you're in Syracuse, New York. If you had this talent, why weren't you going to New York City instead of Boston? Because you didn't. Oh.
Randall Wooten. Wooten, what kind of name is that? Sounds like a chant. Sounds like some sort of medieval chant. Yeah, boy, he was from Syracuse. He was a drummer, lived in Boston. And I just was like, I gotta get out. He's great. I lived with him for like 3 years. We're still friends. He's a drummer for the Blue Man Group.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's traveling the world performing with the Blue Man Group. Yeah.
Wow.
So he's doing it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was living with him.
So were you instantly hooked once you...
I was.
Yeah.
I did the improv first for like 3 years. But I took the improv and then I did a writing course for like 6 months and I did a 5-minute set. So that was like pretty much the day the kid told me to try stand-up comedy. I took the course for 6 months. In the middle of that, I started improv. So I did the 5-minute set. I have it on tape, which is crazy. I know. I don't think a lot of people have the first time they ever did stand-up. Now people are probably doing it more because it's a thing, but like this is 2001, I think. God, holy fuck. Shit. I've been doing comedy. All right.
But you love it.
I love it. Yeah.
So-
It was fun.
So how long did you stay Well, maybe I should answer. So once you got out of the, I guess that intense educational format,
Yeah.
what started feeding your love for stand-up? Or were you sticking with improv?
No, I left improv. When I left Boston, I went from Boston to New York, and then I just did stand-up in New York.
Okay.
I didn't do any more improv after that. Improv's a great basis.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
it gets you sort of ready to go and thinking on your feet and being able to handle everything in the room. But I did stand-up in New York. When I moved there, I wasn't like in it right away. I was just taken aback with like New York City.
Yeah.
You know, I was bartending, so the hours were kind of difficult because I was bartending and like
Oh, you're bartending exactly when all
when
the
I'm supposed to be
shows
on
are-
stage, yeah. And also, like, you know, you get free drinks. So I was just drinking, bartending, like, this is great. And I was like, oh, wait, there's a dream I'm here for. Hey, wake up, bitch. You also are here for something. You're just going to be a 50-year-old barmaid? Fuck, get your life together.
How long when you made that realization?
Within like a year.
Okay.
And then I started like doing the whole grind, producing my own shows and barking and driving 6 hours for $60 and getting paid in hot dogs and doing all the weird road gigs that you do and bar shows. And, you know, I did a show once, oh my God. This family was so sweet. Every year they had a fundraiser for their son that passed away. I forget, he had some weird syndrome. He died when he was 8. Terrible. Anytime a kid dies, it's terrible. So they do a fundraiser every year, right? And my boyfriend at the time, Giannis Pappas, is a comedian as well. I was opening for him because he was the headliner and he gave me some time. So the thing about comedy when you start out, you kind of just take the stage time wherever you can get it. And sometimes it's not really a stage. People just put a box in the middle of a terrible scenario and they expect you to entertain the room. So I had to follow a priest giving a prayer for an 8-year-old dead kid. And I go up on stage and the photo of the kid is behind me. That's another one of my laugh dynamics is it's just I just suck in air. It's a pure snort. I have a photo of me on stage and I'm just like holding the microphone and there's just morose facial expression, the photo of the fucking kid behind me. God. And they're like, okay, and literally after the priest was done giving a fucking heartfelt prayer, he goes, and now comedy. Didn't even introduce me. I was the face of comedy for everyone. You were the face of just of all comedy. In this dead kid's photo, I mean, Harry what's your name? Harry, I love you to death. You and your wife are great. I've joked about this before. Harry Trembini, I can't remember his last name, but they were great. Just very awkward scenario.
You presumably knew what you were going into. You were telling me earlier most of your stuff when you were starting out was mostly sex stuff. So
Yeah, I mean...
you had to rewrite?
No, I went right in. I talked about one of the grandfather's bulges right in front. Because it was enormous. Why do grandfather, the bulges get huge? Or it's like poor ill-fitting pants. Some guys sit and it's like their pants get tucked in and it looks like it's like, you know when you put fruit in a bag and you twist it quick and then it just is all taut? Looks like a produce bag of plums.
So, what kind of feedback did you get on that first?
You know, I think I just went in and stuck to it.
Yeah.
The thing about comedy is if you have some conviction,
Yes.
it goes a long way.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's so many elements that are involved to make it work
Yeah.
that sometimes if you get one of them working really well, you can sort of compensate for the other ones not working so well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of that starting out is just blind confidence. The confidence gets you going
Yeah.
because you don't realize you're shitty. You know?
Yeah.
For me, my material wasn't great. I just was having fun and felt good on stage.
But do you know how it takes some people so many years to get to that point? Because a lot of people, it's the exact opposite. It's like
They got
they have
material.
no confidence,
Yeah.
and it's not until way later in the game that they realize, oh yeah, not only am I funny, I
can be
I
loose.
can be, yeah.
But that's a fluctuating thing too, because there's so much involved in being able to perform. Like what I was talking about this on Sharp Tongue today. Like when people say, oh, I can do comedy. My friends tell me I'm funny. It's like there's so much more involved, and until you get to a certain point, like I feel like where I'm at right now, where I'm dealing with my father's illness, and I've been on the road for a month, and all these elements that can throw you off your axis that you have to keep in line.
Yeah.
And then that's just to exist on a daily basis, to not have breakdowns in Starbucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where when a stranger, when you go up to order a matcha and they're like, how you doing today? And you're like, well, not too good. Not too good. You just want to have a fucking breakdown. Just all those elements just to get to the point where you're not breaking down in front of baristas asking for your order is a lot. And then to hone it, to be able to perform is a whole other fucking level.
Yeah.
Then now I'm like, oh, this is when you start to make a turn in your career. When you really realize these are all the skills I've learned up to this point. I'm going through this horrible scenario, and now I'm going into a territory of my career that everyone hopes to go into.
Yeah.
Where you start to really get into the real shit. So it's interesting to be an adult and realize that, that you realize how strong you are.
Right. As you were talking about that, I wanted to tell you there's now forever embedded in my brain a visual depiction of what you just explained about how commitment is so important. Because last night during the goddamn comedy jam, you're so physical on stage, like the movement, the dancing. To me, the ultimate level of you've got to be committed to something is you're doing these dance moves and all of a sudden you break into the Russian, where you're squatting down, you're kicking your legs out, and I'm like, she is fucking committed and I'm 100%
I love the Russian
backing
kick.
her. Because nobody else can do that.
You think anyone's doing a Russian kick on stage?
Nobody's doing
They're
that.
either too cool, maybe not physically able to, or they just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I'm out there doing it for you.
I
love the Russian kick.
I saw, I appreciate it. I was like, she did a fucking Russian kick. Who the hell? I mean, but again, you were committed to it. Because it's like, I was like, well, she's doing all these moves and it's kind of looking like it's going to happen, but can she really pull it off? She pulled it off.
And a slow Rudy clap, just...
So, yeah, sometimes you just got to do the Russian kick.
Sometimes you gotta do it. And that happened one time when I was just feeling, because in those physical moments, there's a fine line between feeling it naturally and forcing it.
Yeah.
And people can tell. Mm-hmm. So I have to really make sure that I'm feeling fun and into it, because the physicality can come through. And it was one night where I was having a great time being super physical, and then I just busted into a Russian kick. I'd never done one in my life. And then everyone went, hey! It like literally turned into it's a Russian party, Russian tea room. So that came out of a moment where we were all having fun.
Oh my gosh, so now I have the second theme, because because I was going to say, so sometimes you got to break into the Russian kick, but a lot of times you're going to fail at the Russian kick until you do it. You apparently could just always do it.
I'm a natural Russian kicker.
Damn it.
I want that to be on record. And I would like to see if anyone starts a Russian kick on stage, we know where it came from.
Yes.
Right?
It's the new trend.
Yeah, there's some guy in the background screaming chicken. I don't know what's going on over there. He said it like 4 times.
Oh, really?
A chicken, a chicken, a chicken.
We're going to have
We're going to
security.
fucking, sir, are you a poultry abuser? Jesus. Yeah, I love the Russian kick. That was fun.
All right, so back to focusing.
Back on track.
All right.
Back on track.
So you're in New York. You're doing all the great rooms.
All the great, just...
all the benefits.
Oh, yeah, all the benefits. I mean, I'm trying to think. One time it was just in a lobby of a Holiday Inn. I did a Masonic temple in Pennsylvania where I was the only white girl. It was like 500 black people. Did a lot of black, urban shows, which are so fun, but a lot of, you're burning calories because they like movement. Those rooms want movement.
Yeah.
But I did a Masonic temple where I was the only white girl, and it felt like a church experience. That was wild.
So doing comedy in the 2000s, and please correct my misconception if it is, and it kind of ties into the question that I asked on the Jeremiah Wonders, which I keep teasing, but I don't actually say.
Yeah, you gotta
what's
tell
the fucking
them.
question? Yeah.
You wait, make them wait to the end.
Okay, all right. So that question that you answered, was it like a super male dominated environment as far as comedy in New York City?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely more men, but that's an advantage.
Yeah.
You know, an advantage is, in my mind, seeing opportunity. And that's just perspective.
Yeah.
So if your perspective is that you're at a disadvantage, then you will be.
Yeah.
And that's not for everything. I'm just speaking in a specific moment where, you know, as a comedian, as a female, I saw men and then a few women. I was like, all right, well then I need to be the best out of them.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that is a fine line item to approach, I think, as a comedian, because too often do we compare ourselves, and everyone has their own lane, you know, but that, I think, translates to being better than you were the day before. I always try and fix what happened, you know, because there's always some sort of element to the performance where you can tweak it. So by being better than being the best in the room, I just mean being better than I was yesterday.
Yeah.
And if I can stand out as a woman, then you're already ahead of the game, because there's so many men. I feel bad for white male comics.
Yeah.
Holy hell, that's the mayonnaise of the comedy world right now. Boring.
Yeah.
That's what everyone says. It's so
Yeah.
crazy how it teeters.
Right.
You know, like the trends and how everything shifts. Like it goes all the way over to the one side and then like back to it's interesting to see what's going to change with like the whole female movement and feminism and everything with this Me Too thing. Like all that stuff is going to change the way comedy is delivered and digested.
Yeah.
Not all of it's going to be good. You know, there's a lot of, I always try and look at both sides of it. And like the whole thing with like Matt Damon coming out and like all the women attacking him, because all he was saying with the hashtag MeToo thing was there's a spectrum.
Yeah.
We can't just burn every dude at the stage.
Yeah.
That's not realistic. There's accountability. Because in the same breath, there are women who are jumping on the bandwagon of the hashtag MeToo movement and just trying to get followers on social media. So we got to kind of look at it down the middle and go from there. So I don't know. I think it's interesting to see what's going to happen, how the whole industry is changing. Yeah.
How did things like the MTV Girl Code come about for you? That's filmed in New York?
That was in
right?
New York,
Okay.
yeah. I got that after 10 years of failure. I was just working in New York for so long, and I had done one show for MTV before that called Philosophy that Gareth Reynolds and Evan Mann wrote and produced. And so then MTV just asked me back, but they watch, like they definitely keep their eye on the comedy scene, and so they were watching me for a while, and I just went in and I didn't know what it was for. They just were asking me my opinions on dicks, sleepovers, and lesbians, and I just told them how I felt. It's like it's all very hard. It's a difficult situation, and I want to nap with all of it. It was a fun show.
Yeah.
Because it's like one of the first shows where women were like really giving their opinions about shit that everyone experiences. I had a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it was after 10 years of failure.
Yeah.
At that point, because now you're in LA, were you thinking about a move to LA at that time? Or
I wasn't.
What brought you
No. I was in renegotiation for the third season. I had signed my third season contract with MTV, and E Network wanted me to come over and do some comedy programming with them. So, and E's in LA.
Right.
And so we basically told MTV, we're like, hey, we want to stay with you, but these people are asking for me. We got to do something here. And MTV just didn't. I wanted to stay there, but E made it too good for me not to. And I just like, in my mind, I could have stayed with Girl Code another year or two, but you know, it's like, all right, a couple more shows about a similar format. I could leave now when it's really good and go and take a huge risk. And it was a huge risk because when I got to E, Joan Rivers had passed. Well, first Chelsea did that whole thing on Howard Stern where she was talking shit about E. I don't know if you knew about that, but she was like talking shit about the network. Then she just left, and that was her whole fucking programming was Chelsea and the show. On top of like the Joan Rivers, the Fashion Police. Joan passes away. One of their executives gets fired. Another one quits.
Oh, God.
And so I'm over here. I'm like, hey.
Oh man, what did I do?
So they're plugging all these holes in their network.
Uh-huh.
We shot like 6 or 7 pilots, but I was there at the worst possible time for anyone to try and develop anything. They literally weren't even in the place to do new programming. They were just putting out fires.
Yeah.
But it was a great experience. You know, I don't know. I just go forward. I look back. I'll cry. You know, ugly cry in my car. And I'll just keep going forward. I fucking have the most amazing cries in my car.
Do you?
In elevator rides, like quick. If I know I can go like 6 floors, I'll just let out a quick cry. Yeah, elevators and cars are a great place to cry. Mm-hmm.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah. Also, when you're given a blowjob, it's good lubrication. See, now that's a strategic dick joke.
There, yes, it is. It is.
Wasn't out of the blue.
Well timed. Yeah. So how long have you been in LA now?
3 or 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And comparing your New York experience to your LA experience, what are your observations?
LA's more difficult momentum-wise. New York's easier to get up more frequently. So you don't have to rely on the forward momentum as much because it's like you can just get in and go. LA feels a little bit more like a salmon run, and you're going the wrong way, and you're trying to go the right way with everybody, but you can't because there's not as many stages. There's a lot more comedians, I feel. So it's just a little bit more of a. You have to be strategic with your grind and your hustle. But you know, it's also a place you don't want to go unless you've had any TV, in my mind. Like, I think going there as a fresh comic, why would you do that and not go to, that's like going to like a SUNY school as opposed to like a free ride to Harvard. That's New York City. It's a free ride. Go ahead. You can get up 5 times a night. That's like comedy boot camp. LA, you gotta fucking drive everywhere, 3 hours round trip just to go get your teeth cleaned. Holy hell. And then you gotta do spots on top of that. You gotta time everything. You're like, all right, I gotta get across the valley. It's 4 o'clock. I'll be there by December. It's a little bit more strategy involved. So if you have like determination and motivation and some sort of plan, it can work, but it's definitely not without its difficulties. New York's so special. You can get around and there's so many people and there's just, it's a great place to start comedy. One of the best, I think. And I've been in Boston, LA, and New York now.
And Boston's got a great scene.
Boston's a great scene to like get your feet wet, but also a great scene just to be in as a comedian. You know, there's still, I mean, they really are comedy fans there. And they'll tell you if you're funny or not. You know, those are the types of audience you want to start with.
This is your first time at Moontower?
Yes.
You've been to the Just for Laughs?
I have.
Did you get a fresh face?
I still don't have one today.
I'm still trying to.
I haven't washed my face yet. I don't think it takes a while for me to get a fresh face.
I'm swimming in
I don't know.
Facts.
No, I didn't do fresh face. I did Kevin Hart's LOL Network last year, and then just like a couple regular shows. It was a minimal involvement.
Do you enjoy the festival thing? Or?
I've never been crazy about. I love this festival's fucking amazing. JFL in particular, I always had the bad taste in my mouth because of an exchange I had with one of the gatekeepers there being inappropriate with me as a young comic. And so that was my introduction into JFL. So I never really, not that I didn't want to do it, it just was like, it just...
You had a bad taste.
Had a bad taste, So I just, I did it last year and I've never been actively going after it. But this festival honestly is so much fun. I mean, we were sing-song in the middle of
P. Terry's.
Terry's
Yes.
last night. We were singing so loud that the girls making the food told us to shut up because they couldn't hear the orders.
That's awesome.
I
That is
forget what the
awesome.
hell we were singing. It was all the guys from the goddamn Comedy
Yeah.
Jam. John Wood Nix. Who the heck else? What were we singing? It was like some 1980s. Oh man, I can't remember what it was, but it was very loud. It was a good time. And I got a veggie burger afterwards. Proud of myself.
Yeah.
And milkshake and a whole bunch of fries.
I love P. Terry's.
They're good.
It's really good.
It's just a bunch of ladies working there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no dudes.
They have multiple locations. So,
Oh,
yeah.
just a sack of potatoes on the floor? It's like, what is this place? We're going to turn it into Broadway.
It's magic.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you.
It is 4:19, by the way.
Shit. Did I even bring
Okay,
anything
so-
with
so
me?
we're good.
I smoked some before.
Okay. So,
didn't.
Hilarious
Hilarious.
is coming out today.
Yeah.
Is it the first episode?
First episode.
My research is so terrible. I thought it was an ongoing thing. Oh, I know
I've
what the
talked about
ongoing
it.
thing is. Your
Weeds
Facebook.
Day.
Yes.
Weeds Day.
Tell
Yeah,
the
Weeds Day is every Wednesday. It's Wednesday and there's weed.
Yeah.
Weeds Day. It's very low key.
Yeah.
I answer questions. Sometimes I promote shows. Sometimes I promote products. When I can, I'll have the knowledge to the specific strain or weed that I'm smoking. I'll talk about it a little bit. I try and advocate for it. As of recently, because Facebook allows you to do a donate button, I've been having people donate to End Alts, which is the Alzheimer's Association. So you can, through the Facebook feed, you can just press that donate button, and we've raised a couple $100 from that, which isn't a lot, but it's something. I just chill wherever I am and smoke weed. Sometimes I'm in an airport. What do you want from me? I'm gonna figure out where I can smoke.
Yeah.
And I'm not like I don't smoke an entire blunt.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about life. There's spectrums to everything. And there's these like avid stoners that are like, you're not a
Right.
smoker. You don't smoke a whole blunt. Hey, are you getting your work done today? Because I'm gonna. I'm gonna take a couple hits. And I'm gonna go back and do what I gotta do because I got bills to pay. I can't just stay at my mom's couch all goddamn day smoking blunts and eating grilled cheeses.
And that's actually why for somebody like me who's like, oh no, but I went through like a mental, I became more open to it because my dad, in his last year of life, he was suffering from a chronic cancer and he was seeking no treatment.
Oh,
He was using marijuana for relief and that just, turned the light bulb on me. But I'm still like, yeah, that whole stoner culture, it's like,
it's
yeah,
like, all
just-
right.
Yeah.
I mean-
But if you're like taking it as I'm going to educate people on strains and talk about, to me that is far more attainable and I'm more likely to be like, oh, okay, I'm interested in this topic
Yeah.
now.
I'm a conservative smoker.
Yeah.
I do wake and bake. I look at my day.
Yeah.
The night before, I'm like, I'm gonna wake and bake tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't have anything till 2.
Uh-huh.
But if I gotta wake up and be someplace at 10
Yeah.
a.m., I might wake and bake at 3 a.m. I might wake up and just smoke a little joint on the side of my table and put it back. I've got like roaches all over my house. Not the bugs, the little joints.
I assumed.
Yeah, they're the good
I assumed.
roaches.
Yeah.
So just pick them up. Everyone thinks I'm like so frugal. I'm like, don't throw them away. There's still some good weed in there. I put them in my carry-on.
Wow.
I put them right in my bag.
Wow.
Yeah. Just tell them it's lawn shavings, stuff from the yard,
Yeah.
my kids' stuff. I don't even have kids. It's my kids' stuff. Just tell them it's your kids' shit. It's my
There you
kids'
go.
stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God, we have gotten it all today. We've
Seriously.
all of the laughs.
Oh man.
All of the laughs.
You really have.
Yeah.
You got the cackle right off the,
Yeah.
the
yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
You got the snorts?
I got the snorts. Yeah.
I'm a classy lady.
You are absolutely.
I'm
I'll
so
have to show you after one of the best pictures that I caught from you last
Oh
night.
Jesus.
It is.
Oh God, I'm terrified.
I'm sure you are imagining which picture.
There's sometimes photographers
didn't-
come out and they're like, "We're gonna take photos of you performing." I was like, "Okay, we'll see how that goes." And they send me the files. I'm like, "Am I having a stroke? It looks like I'm being electrocuted on stage. Like I'm getting a lobotomy." That's what every photo looks like.
Oh God damn it, Jessie May! If everybody could be like that, comedy would be great.
You know what?
So you are carving a
Damn
niche.
it.
You're carving
Son
a
of
niche.
a bitch. You gotta tell them what the question was.
Is it time? Should I
I
tell?
don't know. I'm just saying, don't forget.
I mean, we're getting close to your.
I don't want you to
end
forget.
time.
Not that you would, because you got
I won't.
like a
I wouldn't forget. No, because I loved your
bulletin
answer.
down here. This
I
is
know.
impressive. Holy
And
hell.
it's two-sided.
It's like a
I got
dissertation.
All of your.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
You probably know more about me than I know. He's very
Probably.
detailed.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, Chaplin the Chihuahua. You want to talk about Chaplin the Chihuahua?
So cute. He's the weirdest dog ever. He sits with his arms crossed like this. Whenever I'm pooping, he'll jump into the threshold of the doorway, bounce down and do a downward dog, cock his head, and then like jump out of the eyesight. He just jumps in. He's like, "Hey, you okay? Okay, bye," and just jumps every time I'm pooping. He's like he's on poop check. He's so funny. This motherfucker is so funny. He's just so small. Everyone loves him. He looks like a little deer. He's so regal and quiet. One time I dropped him. One time I dropped him and a tooth shot across him. His tooth like hit the floor and it went flying, and I was like, oh my God, I'm a terrible person. But also that was amazing.
Do the other dogs get jealous of all the
They
attention?
all get jealous.
Okay.
They're all little attention
Because
whores.
this one is the only one with the Instagram account, right?
Yeah, because if I have 3 Instagrams, that's an emotional problem. And I'm not even trying to like really, I just want him to feel he's cute and
Yeah,
he's special.
yeah.
And I'll put the other dogs on there, but if I had 3, that'd be a lot.
Yeah.
I think I'd need like some sort of clinical,
Yeah.
like a meeting at that point.
Yeah.
But he does have, it's Chaplin the Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I do know.
Yeah, you do.
A lot.
Yep. I just think he's fun. He's a cool dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got him after I used to travel with this other dog, Fozzie Bear. Fozzie the fuck we used to call him because he bit everybody.
Oh no.
One time, him and I were in Florida swimming, Fozzie and I, and we're probably about 50 feet from the shore. This lady and her mother are walking along the shore. Beautiful sunset. Great, calm night. Everyone's enjoying the beach. Fozzie swims towards the shore. It's a 5-pound Chihuahua with such fervor and like direction and intent. I'm like, where's this little fucker going? Swims, gets out of the water, chases after that woman, bites her in the shin.
Oh shit.
She topples over. This woman's like 80.
Oh God.
Falls on the sand.
Oh
And
my
I'm
God.
like, and Carly, who's one of my cast members from Girl Codes in the water, she's just like, holy shit. And I swim and I come out and I walk up to the woman. She had fresh surgery scars on her knees. This woman just got out of knee surgery a week prior.
Oh my God.
Fozzie went at her shins. He probably could smell meat. I don't know what he was doing. Probably could smell the fresh surgery scars.
Oh my God.
Luckily, they were both nice about it. I was like, I'm so sorry. She was like, well, that's like a fucking dog shark. The thing came at us. We thought it was a river rat. What is that? Jesus. What is it, an anaconda?
Oh my God.
Is that a new Floridian creature? 5-pound Fozzie coming out of the water to eat shins. What a fuck.
Oh my God.
So he died and I got Chaplin.
I'm trying not to have my own snort. This is an all Jessie May snort episode. They're not going to hear me. Good Lord.
Oh God, smooth segues.
Is now the time to say the question?
I mean, anytime.
Okay. So the question that I asked
I almost poked my nostril with a straw. Okay.
was, how do you deal with the label of the female comic versus comic?
What did I say?
You said, you know what, I'm just doing my thing. And it doesn't drive me, it doesn't scare me. It's just, I'm trying to be the best comic that I can be.
Yeah. Because
And I thought-
there's so many roadblocks that you can put up
Yeah.
that will hinder your ability to get better.
Yeah.
And anything, I'm not tall enough. I don't look a certain way. My material's this. And
Yeah.
that, like, why just add one more thing
Yeah.
to that pile?
Yeah.
Because in my mind, if you're approaching it that way, then you don't want to succeed. And you're
Yeah.
afraid of success.
Yeah.
All of us are a little afraid of it, but you can still be afraid of it and find a way around those obstacles. And I just think adding another obstacle to my plate right now, I don't need that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take all that shit off.
Right.
And to be a female, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
In general, I can make babies. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Things leak out of me all the time. That's awesome. My boobs are, for like 3 days out of the month. I love them. I have great boobs. Then they change. we bleed.
Yeah.
What creatures? There's that joke that I love. I don't trust something that bleeds for 7 days and doesn't die. I don't know who wrote it, but I think it's such a great menstruation joke. We're so magical as creatures. We create life and all these crazy things happen to us. We're on a moon cycle. Like our bodies literally are in sync with nature. It's amazing. So what if there's a dude in the way or another woman in the way? No one's in the way. You're in your way. You're in your own way.
Right.
So there's so much going on in my life, and there's so many obstacles and reasons to not succeed that I try and focus on the things that are going to help me get just to the next day.
Yeah.
What can I do to get to tomorrow?
Right.
Because dealing with my dad, we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So I'm just trying to focus on that.
Right.
I'm a woman doing comedy. I think it's dope.
Yeah. And doing it amazingly.
Thanks.
Yes.
I'm trying.
Yeah. No.
I'm trying.
Your hard work's paid off. I mean, I saw, 15 minutes of 20 minutes on stage, and I'm like, oh my God, it's all big venues.
It was the Russian
dip. Crawl. I
it
agree.
really got it got you going.
It got me.
That was really what stuck in your heart.
Yeah.
The question being answered, and then you saw the Russian dip, and you were like, sign, seal, delivered.
Yeah. Number one fan from now on. Okay, well, we're going to wrap up. I'm going to ask you my closing question.
Okay.
One word to describe your future.
Damn you. What are you, Walter Cronkite? Holy hell. One word to describe my future. I'm going to have to say, I'm really thinking about this one because that's such a tough thing to answer because I've already experienced what the past was. Right? Was that the question from before?
Yep.
I'm going to say flatulent. So you thought I was going to get real sincere.
I did. Damn you, Jessie May.
You thought I was going to go deep. You thought I was going to go deep.
Sometimes they do.
And sentimental. Nah, I did a fart joke. I ended on a fart joke, y'all.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about. You're not just this, you're so many levels.
That's for my dad because he loves fart jokes. Joe Peluso.
It's a beautiful tribute to your father.
Yes, he would love it. Farts make him laugh. He asked me to pull his finger like last week.
Oh.
Yeah, I did, and he sharted. So, clean up on aisle 9. Holy hell.
Well, he's got care now for that, right?
Yeah,
So
some other lady can clean that up.
Right.
I've earned my stripes at this point.
I'm gonna try to get through this closing now.
Okay.
Without.
I won't laugh into the microphone.
You could snort though.
All right.
Okay. That's a wrap on Comedy Wham Presents Jessie May Peluso. Tell us where we can find you on social media and let us know upcoming projects, things you want to talk about.
On Twitter, I'm at Queefy May.
I think you should spell that for the audience.
Yeah, I probably should. Q as in queef. U as the U in queef.
You're so ridiculous.
E. F as in flatulent. I as I am really, really going to regret this. M-A-E. I forgot how to spell it now. It's just my name. You can Google my name. It's my name on everything.
Yeah.
Hilarious Podcast comes out today.
Yes.
On all those places where you can find podcasts. Happy 420.
Thank you. I'm honored that you spent 420 at 420 with me.
I feel excited and happy that we had this moment together at 420. You know why? Because otherwise I'd be baked in my hotel room and the Hilarious Podcast wouldn't be posted. So because we had a chill 420, I'm going to be able to post the podcast.
Fantastic.
Otherwise I'd just be laying with sandwiches on my
Because you're
bare
always
chest.
thinking about what do you have to get done today.
What do you have to get done today?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can find me all over. And
we have a website too.
JessieMay.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, simple and easy.
Yeah.
Find me, people.
Yeah. Find her, please.
Find
Hurry
me.
up.
Come
Yeah.
to a show.
Yes.
I'll show you my moves.
Hopefully there's a Russian crawl on video out
You
there
know, there's
somewhere.
got to be some place where I can really get in with like old Russian men, where they can
There's
show
a
me
Russian
technique.
tea house somewhere.
Yeah,
around
you
here.
can show me the real technique. I need one of those hats with the tassels on it, and those pants that literally look like they were made to be shat in. You know, the ones like they got a lot of fabric near the taint.
We hope you've enjoyed learning about how Jessie May got to be the comedic genius that you heard today as much as I have. Be sure to visit ComedyWham.com. Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram @ComedyWham, and like our Facebook page. You can listen to past interviews on iTunes and your favorite podcast player. Review us while you're at it.
The comedic genius. After I just said taint like 10 times. Oh God, I love my job.
That's been Comedy Wham presents Jessie May Peluso. I've never lost my shit this hard at a conclusion.
I just got off a cruise, and losing your shit means something totally different when you hit the buffet 4 times a day.
I'm Valerie, and that's been funny. Thank you, Jessie May.
Thank you.